You've come to Britain, where you bestrode Fleet Street. Is this an attempt to rehabilitate yourself?
No, I feel I'm quite rehabilitated. Given the correlation of forces between the U.S. government and myself and the fact that 99.5% of prosecutions in that country end in convictions, 97 of the 95 without a trial, 97 of the 99.5, that it's such a stacked deck, and that we'd so dismembered their case and struck down the prosecuting statute as unconstitutional, I feel I've done quite well.
Well, you do have two outstanding convictions.
They're under appeal.
One for mail.
Look, in this court, it would not happen.
One for obstruction of justice.
In this country, it wouldn't happen. The Supreme Court unanimously vacated the counts, excoriated the lower courts, and then perversely remanded them.
There are two standing. As it stands,
under appeal.
You're a convicted fraudster, as things stand.
Yeah. All right, look, yes. So are lots of people in Paraguay and other unserious jurisdictions. As far as I am concerned,
you're saying the United States is like Paraguay?
In this matter, it's worse. It's like North Korea.
A country to which this Conservative-led government is quite happy to deport people who deported people.
It's a disgrace. Recently. You should cancel the extradition treaty at once.
So your claim is you did nothing wrong?
Absolutely.
You're an innocent man.
Yes, and we got rid of all the counts until two were spuriously retrieved.
We haven't got rid of two.
Will you listen to me? We got rid of all of them until two were spuriously retrieved by an appellate panel chairman whom the Supreme Court unanimously excoriated for, amongst other things, the infirmity of invented law.
But the point is that this country recognizes U.S. justice. You still stand convicted under U.S. justice. You're a lord here. Do you intend, for example, to take your seat again in the House of Lords?
Ever?
Yes.
Presumably, but I haven't decided that.
I mean, while charges are still on the book against you, do you intend to?
I do not accept that these charges in this manner have any validity, and they certainly would not have occurred in this country. In this country, there would have been no prosecution and no conviction, and I would hope that that fact would be taken into account.
So do you not feel disqualified by the fact that you have been convicted?
Of course not. I feel, in fact, frankly, ennobled by it. To spend 9 years fighting outrageous charges, racketeering, money laundering, embezzlement, all of this, got rid of all of it, won 99% of it, have one tiny little fig leaf retrieved to try and put a speck of plausibility on this failed prosecution. There's nothing requiring rehabilitation.
I mean, the basic charge against you is that you were a multimillionaire, you built a business, but you wanted to have a billionaire lifestyle, effectively.
That's a basic charge by the British media. Even the American prosecutors didn't quite try that.
No, but I mean, I'm not talking about the legal charge, I'm talking about the basic charge. You wanted to live above your means, and you funded it off your investors.
Let me tell you something. What's your name again?
Adam Boulton.
Yeah, well, look, Adam, if I had been living above my means, I wouldn't have been able to pay $30 million to rapacious American lawyers. And that's what I did, despite their attempted asset freeze in which they, using telephone intercepts that were illegal, seized what they knew perfectly well to be my intended deposit retainer with the counsel that I'd chosen.
What of what you controlled have you lost?
I lost all of that, but I haven't lost all my net worth.
How much are you worth now?
I don't answer questions like that. I think that's vulgar. It's not bad to ask it, but it'd be vulgar to answer it.
I mean,
you're confusing me with Donald Trump.
Tens of millions, hundreds of millions?
Enough to pay my bills.
Because I'm interested that you say you're innocent and you've been introduced, and yet in your book here you take on Rupert Mudoch, who you used to regard as a friend. You referred to him in an interview as a psychopath. You say that he's a prime candidate for criminal prosecution in at least 2 continents, and that can't be counted on for 24 hours for his support. I mean, fact of the matter is, he runs a legitimate business, and he's facing legitimate consequences. You did?
You're telling me the Daily Telegraph wasn't a legitimate business?
I'm telling you were prosecuted, and Rupert Mudoch's not facing any prosecutions on 2 continents.
Well, we don't know. The investigations are continuing.
Well, we know...
I would give him the benefit of the doubt he didn't give me. Look, I got on like smoke with Mudoch for 25 years, but it has come out in evidence in this country and in revelations in the United States that as soon as my legal problems began, he put his people under orders to do a smear job on me. And that is one of the basis of my complaint against him.
Isn't that called investigative journalism?
As one of his employees, you'd call it what you want. I call it just sleazemongering.
I mean, Andrew Gilligan was one of your employees. He was an investigative journalist.
Who was?
Andrew Gilligan.
What does that got to do with
Well, I mean, I'm saying investigative journalism, surely a newspaper proprietor would support investigative journalism rather
if it's responsible, yes.
What was irresponsible?
About Mudoch starting out saying tick-tock, the clock's ticking until Black goes to prison. You think that's responsible?
Are you still friends with Henry Kissinger, for example?
Very much so. He's writing a foreword to my next book. You have a letter in there in the appendix saying what a great contribution I've made to the Western world from Henry. He, by the way, as a senior non-executive director, says that I did not commit a crime.
And who are your friends still in this country?
No, they're too numerous to mention and very distinguished.
I mean, where are you going to live? Because you've been kicked out of America. You're on a one-year visa in your birthland of Canada. I mean, are you going to end up here?
Stop being a jackass. I mean, you're just being abrasive. I can read. No, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not welcome.
You were deported from America.
I'm not. No, I was not deported. I left.
And you're on a one-year lease to live in Canada?
Renewable indefinitely, and I can apply for my citizenship back, which I always said I would do. I am a passport-carrying citizen of the EU, so I can live anywhere I want of these 27 countries. I'm not a refugee, struggling desperately from place to place for some place to lay my head. You know, I'm all right. I'm doing fine.
You are going on Have I Got News to You this week. It tends to be a program which mocks the participants. Why are you letting them make you a figure of fun?
I'm selling books.
You're selling books.
That's why I'm here. Yeah. I'm not here to enjoy your somewhat predictable questions.
But you're happy to be made a figure of fun.
We'll see who makes whom a figure of fun.
Why? You think you can make the program a figure of fun? I mean, do you have any objections to the program?
I normally don't do too badly exchanging acerbities, so that's what people want to do.
And do you think you're going to die as Lord Black of Cross Harbour?
I don't think in such morbid terms. I mean, with or with, look, I'll tell you something, I'm not all that preoccupied with this title, you know, and I never was, but
well, you
I
changed your nationality to get it, didn't you?
No. Again, you're simplifying. What happened was the then Prime Minister of Canada, misconstruing, as everyone knew he was doing, a Canadian law, took it upon himself to try and create a class of one, a citizen of a foreign country who was ineligible for an honor in that country for services deemed to have been rendered in that country because I was a dual citizen and in my capacity as a newspaper owner in Canada had criticized him.
I mean, one does slightly get the sense that everybody is wrong except for Conrad Black.
No, there's plenty of admissions of error in there. Don't misrepresent. Do you mind holding the book up so people can
see? Sure, there's the book.
Did you read any of it?
I did read it.
Did you like any of it?
It's a job to read your book. What is the one thing that you're most ashamed of that you've done?
I'm not ashamed. But the thing I most regret was that I went as long as I did with a partner who completely double-crossed me. I will agree that, and I do say quite forthrightly in there, that I probably became a bit insouciant, and to that extent, my downfall was justified. I'm quite philosophical about these things. I believe in the confession and repentance of wrongdoing, and I believe in the punishment of crime.
If your downfall is justified...
Pride goeth before disaster. I was somewhat overconfident. I accept that. But what I object to are these ethical aspersions. The chances of my committing a crime, Adam, are less than zero.
But it is a problem that you've got convictions on your record at the moment.
Are you under the impression that everybody in the United States is convicted honorably and accurately? I mean, do you realize it has 6 to 12 times as many incarcerated people per capita as Canada, Australia, Britain, France, Germany, or Japan? It has 48 million people with a record. It has a legal system that consumes 10% of GDP.
But it's the country where you chose to live and work.
No, I didn't live there. I had a home there, but I was never a resident.
And you located your businesses there?
Yeah, well, it's a great country. It's hard to avoid it if you're in international commerce.
Conrad Black, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, Adam.